We love Colby.
Yeah.
We love her
Yes.
for green energy, saving the earth.
She really does seem like she's like from like a country area. I couldn't believe that she was from Manhattan, you know. She's so different from how she portrays her characters. I did not expect the energy. I mean, she was like goofy, you know, and like sensitive and vulnerable.
The amount of energy that she puts into her characters kind of matches the amount of energy that she has as a person. It's just channeled completely differently.
Right.
She vastly transforms it, and I'm just in awe of that skill.
That was great.
It goes to show how dynamic she must be as an actress.
Her animated facial expressions are just awesome.
Every time she crossed her eyes, I'm like, dead.
Yeah, she like right away had a real good sense of humor. I think she's really funny. But
she said, like, I was like a piñata. I looked the same. I was just filled with candy.
My gut felt like a toffee machine. That was funny.
I really like the optimistic way that she framed, you know, making an impact or like kind of like changing behavioral patterns. Like instead of looking at it like, oh, there's so much more we could do, or there's so many areas that we can help, she framed it in a way that was like, you know, just if this small group of us use, you know, the same water bottle every day or something, like instantly just knowing that math, you know, and like how quickly that adds up. You know, I thought it's like, yeah, that's a really doable way to go about, you know, making these big changes ultimately.
yeah.
But
All my raters are going, like, trying to review, okay, where am I at? Are there still things that I can improve?
The whole thing with like the reusables and stuff. I am trying to be better about that.
I have my work bag right here. A friend of mine went to Charlotte, North Carolina, and brought me this one. And this is the one that I didn't lose at work. Name on it.
In my actual company for work, for which I work, in my old one, we are avoiding completely plastic bottle, and we have a water dispenser, and everyone has his own bottle, reusable bottle. And the government gives some funds for the company who promote these kind of things.
You know what I really like is what she said about every show needing its own green captain. I think if you replace the word show with workplace,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you take that responsibility on, you just inspire your colleagues. Like, how about we grab a glass instead of a single-use cup, and trying to get other people to do the same thing? And that really spoke to me. I'm like, there's definitely more that we can do.
love that Michael Shannon was the one who inspired her
I
too.
know. And like,
Like-
imitating, what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do it now.
Wow.
You learn as you go, I guess. And every
Yeah.
that you take, it's not like you do the whole thing or you do nothing at all. Like, everything in between that you can do towards being kinder to the planet is a good thing. So I love that she said that, where if it's not for you, then even doing 2 out of 3.
I liked that too, because I mean, I know a lot of people that are vegan, and I'm like, I physically cannot do that. I mean, like, I have in the past had to have a nutritionist because of all my medical stuff, and
Yeah.
they're like, no. So it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I was thinking about it a few days ago. For example, in the 50s, when my grandparents were young, they didn't eat meat every day because it was so expensive, and the only meat you could get was the one you had in the farms. So we are really overproducing every kind of food. And without paying attention, for example, to the seasons. Certain foods that, for example, grown during winter, they have all the necessary that your body need to survive during winter.
Yeah.
The vitamins, minerals, and so on that you need in winter.
I definitely have a lot to learn there. That's so interesting.
It's good to be like conscious of it. I think a lot of people, they get going for a little while, like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they like taper off and kind of forget about it.
Yeah. But then she also makes a fair point. It's hard to dismiss convenience and really dive into that and commit to make that change.
We can have an impact on like
Yeah.
what, you know, leaders do and And there's some countries that don't have the liberties to affect that change.
True.
So
And that's what I like what she was saying about it. It can be really depressing if you think about it in terms of systemic problems that we as an individual can't.
yeah,
You're kind of waiting for the right leaders. But then if you see from the ground up, you do realize what an impact your investment makes and your behavior makes. So I thought that was a really interesting way to see it as well. Instead of like,
Yeah.
me too. It's like, holy crap. Yeah, every single payment that you make is a statement, a direct statement on, where you're okay with the world going.
Another thing I like that they kind of pointed out is that Danai said, she got all this stuff from like 3 minutes of talking to her when they first met, right? It shows how much you can make a difference on somebody in such a short amount of time.
Like, it shows how
when
much she's paying attention to everything around her, and she listens to people and she remembers it.
it made me laugh so much in the beginning when Colby joked about it, when she said, like, you don't remember exactly every word I said. I'm like,
Oh yeah, that sheds new light on that joke. Wow. And how different was this podcast from like the last one? The tone of it
oh my goodness.
and the direction of it. You can see really how good of an interviewer Danai is because of like how she lets interviews develop. Ultimately, she bats 1,000 in terms of getting people just to talk more about things they care about.
there's a ton of podcasts out there, but not like this. You get a sense for the person behind the, job they're doing, whatever it may be. And you can still also learn about yourself.
Because it's a one-on-one conversation and because the night has something very accessible, it makes it relatable.
Each one has been so interesting in its own way.
Without a doubt.
True.
It's really what she says, like, I want to learn. That curiosity, it's really a personal curiosity, and that's why she has that one-on-one connection.
We also must remember that curiosity does not kill the cat.
It just
The acknowledgement that we don't know everything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that we want to
And removing the stigma around that.
There's a lot of inspiration right here. Thanks, Britt, Jordan, Federica, Charlotte. It's always great to see all your lovely faces.
Good to see
Yeah.
you too.
Same
Our
Same
faces.
here.
Right back at you, Mike.